Dover, Massachusetts is a quintessential New England town tucked quietly amidst rolling hills and thick woodlands, just 15 miles southwest of Boston. Known for its rural charm and tranquil atmosphere, Dover feels like a peaceful retreat from the rush of city life. Winding country roads are lined with historic colonial homes, stone walls, and horse farms, offering postcard-perfect views in every season. The town has a deep appreciation for nature and open space. It offers miles of walking trails and quiet ponds, perfect for morning hikes or leisurely weekend strolls. Life in Dover moves at a gentle pace. It's a place where neighbors know each other, the local general store is still a meeting point, and the starry sky feels a little brighter at night. But lurking in the nighttime darkness is a presence that has cemented itself into Massachusetts history forever. On April 21st in 1977, a teenage boy named Bill Bartlett was driving him and his friends Mike Mazzocca and Andy Brody back to their respective homes after a night of hanging out. They were going north on Farm Street when Bill saw something sitting on the side of the road. At first he thought it was like an animal of some kind, but as they got closer, he quickly realized that this was something entirely different. As his Volkswagen headlights illuminated the figure sitting on the stone wall, he began to see its spindly body. It was so small that they were questioning how a body this small and frail looking was holding up its head that was like twice its size. The creature's face was devoid of any of the normal features. There was no mouth, no nose, and only two like glowing holes where eyes should be, and its skin looked like a rough textured peachy color. Bill started to see it crawling across the wall and back into the darkness. After he dropped off his friends at their respective homes, he went straight to his house and told his dad about what he saw, where they came up with the idea of drawing out a picture of the figure. But little did they know that his picture was not going to be the only one that was created that night. On the other side of town, at the south end of Miller Hill Road, 15-year-old John Baxter was making his way home after spending the evening at his girlfriend's house, and he was already stressed and freaking out a little bit because it had gotten too late and he was worried that his parents were going to be upset when he got home. And that's when he saw a figure down the road underneath a street lamp walking towards him. He initially thought it was a child due to how small it was, so he slowed down to investigate. And that's when he saw that the figure also slowed down and stopped and became aware of him. Due to it being so dark, John couldn't make out very many facial features, but he did see that it was lacking a mouth and a nose and only had two holes where eyes would be, and its head was unusually large. But before John could even think about it, the creature scurried off the side of the road into a wooded gully, and John just took off after it. But once he got to the bottom of the gully, he realized that he was completely alone, or so he thought. In the distance, he noticed the creature sitting about 30 feet in front of him at the base of a tree, bathed in just enough moonlight that he could make out those same features and sort of see the skin tone of the creature, describing it to be pale, peachy colored and like a rough texture. Finally, John snapped back into reality and realized that the creature probably ran down into that gully to lure him to attack him. So John turned around and took off running. Once he got back to the main road, he saw a couple driving in a car that offered to give him a ride home. And as soon as he got home, he told his parents what happened, and they too said that we should make a drawing of this just in case, like maybe this creature is, maybe other people have seen it. His picture drew a very eerie resemblance to a third picture that was created that night by Abby Brabham. Abby Brabham and her boyfriend Will were driving home from a party that night in complete silence because at the party they had gotten into some sort of argument that led to them kind of just having a lot of tension on the drive home. As they drove in silence, Abby just was staring out the window at the vast countryside of Massachusetts when she saw the figure. The car's headlights illuminated a humanoid-looking figure sitting off the side of the road near a farm. Abby was frozen in shock as she began to see that the creature had four scrawny-looking limbs, a huge head missing a nose and a mouth, only two pockets where eyes should be, and it was staring right at them. It wasn't until they got mere meters away from it when Abby snapped back into reality, screaming at realizing what she just saw, which caused Will to slam the brakes. And at that point, Abby was pointing to the back window, asking him, "What is that? Like, do you see that?" And they saw in the glowing red brake lights this creature with malevolent features just staring directly into their souls. For a brief moment, they both were frozen in fear before they took off driving home. And as a few days went on, these 3 encounters were not the only ones that were talked about in the area. Sometime after these cases came to media attention, a man by the name of Mark Sennett came forward with another chilling encounter. He was driving through town late one evening in 1972 when something ran across the road in front of his car. This creature matched the description of the 3 documented cases from the other night. Mark screeched his car to a stop on the side of the road where he watched this figure run into the woods near a pond. When you plotted all of these encounters on a map, they ran in a completely straight line, which suggested that these creatures, if there is more than one of them, are migrating in a certain direction, or that they have like a preference for a type of biome. Maybe wherever they have come from is more marshy and watery and dense forests, because that's where all of these sightings have taken place. Like any other cryptid encounter, there were thousands of people trying to come up with rational theories to explain what happened, but because there was no UFO, there was no other evidence of anything to prove anything, it was effectively deemed a cryptid, dubbing this cryptid the Dover Demon. Others say it could have been an abandoned albino calf or moose cub, or even some sort of disfigured forest animal, but when looking at the drawn descriptions and the details of the encounters, it just could not have been any other known living species. Anthropologists that have studied the cases noticed that they all took place near a local water source, suggesting that wherever this cryptid originated from relies on water sources, and that this creature is trying to find areas that resemble its natural habitat. So were these teenagers a part of some sort of elaborate hoax, or were they the instigators? No one to this day really knows what happened. Since the original incidents, there have been no more documented sightings, but there have been sightings all over the world of similar looking creatures, specifically in Europe. With no concrete evidence to back up the teens' testimonies and without a convincing enough argument that can logically and rationally explain what happened, the Dover Demon encounters remain to be one of America's most stark mysteries. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you watched all the way to this point, leave a red heart in the comments and I will like them all or reply to them. I'm so happy to be filming more haunted history. They take a long time because I'm just me and I work full time and I do all the research, I do all the filming and editing myself. So it can take a long time. I've had this one planned for like a month or 2, but it's taken me a while to be able to film it and sit down and edit it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked this format where I'm kind of just casually talking about it, reading out the facts and stuff like that, let me know. I have a few other formats I want to try for my haunted history videos. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, because it means the world to me and this is something I've always wanted to do. And make sure you like and subscribe, because that really helps me out a lot and lets me know that people want to see this so that I keep doing it. And yeah, if you have any stories you would like me to cover, definitely leave them in the comments, and I will see you guys in my next video.